We come to the final part 6 in lecture number 2. Here is a short part. Just want to highlight a few things about Python keywords and built-ins. And let's proceed to that. You will see this table like structure in your notes. Simply the list of Python keywords. Of course, this false, true, and none are special things which I have included in the table, but they are actually not really keywords. They have special meaning. We'll come to that later. But other ones, so you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. So 7 into 5, 35. 35 minus these 3, you get 32. So 32 keywords. Okay. Right. So far we have come across several like and, class, is, in operators we have come across, right? And you will come across other things very soon. Okay, and some Python built-in functions. Some of these we have come across: ABS and bin, tool. Actually, I ask you to find out what these things, right? Eval, evaluation one, bin, of these things. And it's organized in alphabetical order. You can go to this URL to find these things here in the descriptions also, right? Right. Then Python also has some built-in constants. So this false, true, none, these are built-in constants. They have some special meaning. False and true values of bool type are actually false and true. None is used to represent the absence of a value. For example, let's show an example. So D, when you say D equals 5, D's value is 5. You can actually assign none to D. None is the absence of any value. So D is some variable which has no value. So when you say D, it doesn't show anything. But you can actually use this value in your programs to check for something. So you can actually use something like this: if D equal none. So I'm simply checking whether the value of D is none, and then you can do something about it. So that's a perfectly valid thing to do, right? If D is none, it will display a failure, right? Right, so that's it. And that basically brings us to the end of lecture number 2. So actually it has several parts, so it actually may be somewhat lengthy, you might say, but it is important to discuss all these things. So overall, if you recap what we discussed, we first looked at data types, basic data types in Python, and numeric types, integers. So numeric types, we have integer, float, and complex. Then we have the bool type and the string. So those are the basic data types. Then we also have other compound types. We mentioned a few, but we didn't discuss them. Then we talked about objects and mutability. They are mutable, immutable objects. We talked about that mutability depends on the type. And we said that numeric types and strings are immutable, right? For example, there were a few others also which we mentioned. We looked at input, output, how to input from the keyboard, how to output to the display, something from Python programs. Output is used in print, input is used in the input function. These are using built-in functions. Then we looked at file read write. We used file methods for that. And the basic thing is to open a file, then perform the operation, then close, right? Expressions and operations, we looked at a few operators also. And finally, Python keywords and built-ins. That's the end of lecture number 2.